Hi, ladies. So welcome to day one of the SEO challenge. I'm super excited to have you here. Let me just take a minute and introduce myself. I know we have some new bloggers, content creators in the group. So I'm Tiffany Montgomery, and I am the writer and author at hopejoyandchrist.com. Have been blogging for, I'm not sure, so since November 2016. So I guess we're 2 years plus at this point, and have just really thoroughly enjoyed that outlet. It's really a calling from God to share his message to help women grow in their faith. But as you know, right, the world of blogging, the world of online business, it is just this constant growing and learning piece. Like we never will quite get to that place of, okay, I got this. All right, we're ready. There's always going to be something changing and new to learn. I've done well with my site, but I find that my traffic is just inconsistent. And that is because my whole focus has been social media. I understand social media a bit. Can I say a bit? Because it's always evolving, right? But social media really requires a huge investment of time, right? To constantly be strategizing and working on, the next thing to beat the algorithm, scheduling or not scheduling, even focusing on Pinterest, which has been kind of the driving force of my traffic. Pinterest changes and it hits you like crazy. I know in the early fall of last year, Pinterest had such a big change, and my traffic went down by half because that had been my focus. So in the process of that and that huge eye-opening, I cannot depend just on SEO. I'm sorry, I cannot depend just on social media. Spoiler, sorry. People are always talking about SEO, search engine optimization. They're always talking about, that this is really like the gold piece. That's what we have to figure out. But when they talk about SEO, it's like a different language. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's all of these letters and abbreviations and numbers. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's speak in English. And so anytime someone does speak in English about SEO, I'm like, oh, right, I'm going to listen, I'm going to learn. And so over the last 6 months or so, gosh, no, we're 9 months or so, this year is flying. I've kind of come to understand it better. Really in November, I found a blogger, travel blogger, and so it's such a struggle, even in the comparison and the sharing within the group. I'm just not a travel blogger. I'm we call it a lifestyle blogger, us in the Christian niche, right? We're blogging about the lifestyle of Christianity, I guess, who knows. But within that, there are all kind of subcategories. Anyway, if you don't find a great community of Christian lifestyle bloggers and then find that right niche for you, it's so hard to kind of talk it through and work it out when you're talking to, people who are in the non-Christian. So this is what I've learned. That SEO is totally doable when you understand it. And we're going to talk about that and work through how to understand it. SEO is a very small time commitment once you understand it. I'm so excited. Like since I started applying these, gosh, I want to say 4 months ago, I've been able to reduce the amount of time I'm on social media because that was not working for me anyway. And now I can see that where I needed 2 or 3 hours a week to focus on Facebook and sharing and connecting in my groups and, all of the hustle, I can just spend 30 minutes on SEO for the post I want to work with. And then the people who are searching for those things that are in the article I'm writing, they may be on social media, but who knows if they've really connected with me or found you. Do you know where they are? They're on Google, and Google doesn't care if we know each other. Google cares if what you have written somewhere within it contains the words that your potential reader is searching for. That's all they care about. If they have sent their spiders and crawled through your content, and let's say you've written about blank. Let's see. So the one I just finished optimizing was all about words of affirmation, and using words of affirmation as a way to build respect and a pattern of respect within your husband. Let's say that's what the piece is. I've written it, I wrote it over a year ago, and it did nothing. But having gone through and optimized it, adding in the words that people are searching, and you know what? Google will tell us what those words are. Oh, that is like the key in SEO. We're going to talk about how to find that. So going back in and adding in those phrases and words organically so they make sense, and they do make sense in the article, and making sure it has enough information, making sure it answers the other questions they ask. Okay, so then when a wife is really frustrated or she just really wants to, speak these words to her husband, she needs ideas, she needs to know how to do it, and she goes over and searches, how do I use words of affirmation in my marriage? Guess what? That shows up in my content now. And so they are going to match us, whether we know each other or not, whether on the same continent or not. It just helps the amazing content you've already written. It helps Google know this answers the question that Susie Q in California asked. I'm going to recommend this and rank it, here in this list of things. All right, so that is the premise behind it. And what we're going to walk through in these next few days are today, super easy. We're going to decide which piece to optimize, okay? And maybe you already have an idea of something that you really wanted to optimize. You really want to do better, okay? But I'm going to say it needs to be something that is already written. Don't go write something new for this, because we are going to look in our Google Analytics and our Google Search Console and see the keywords that are already sending traffic to that site to help us know where Google ranked it, what Google saw were the keywords. And here's the thing, what I've learned over this process, which is like eye-opening, and it's a perspective shift we have to get, that I may write something and think, here are the keywords, and this is what I think that Susie Q is searching for. I don't always really know that answer until after it has had some time to rotate and go through, and I can go back and look and see what keywords brought people to this article. And sometimes they are not what I expected. I was not thinking through the keywords as the reader. Okay, so when we're thinking through the keywords as the author, as the blogger, as the writer, sometimes we miss it. Sometimes we miss, like, this was really her need, and this is, or his need, whatever. And so this is going to help us get our mindset into that. So before you came in the challenge, I asked you, what's your niche? What are your keywords? And I really want you to have an open mind as we do this and really look at, what are the keywords that are actually bringing people to my site? They may surprise you. All right, so I am going to go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to jump into Google Analytics, and I hope that doesn't scare you. Feel free, as we're going through, to pause it, to walk it through. I'm going to write out the exact phrasing in the text so that you can go back through and see, she said what is that word, whatever, and just get comfortable with it. I'm going to tell you straight up that I am not a Google Analytics or Google Search Console expert. What I know how to do are follow directions. And so once I find a particular path, then I'm good until they start to change the path for me, and then not so good, sorry. And if there are things that change as we go along, I'll update these things for you. So I'm just going to share my screen. I said I was going to do that a minute ago. I so didn't. Let's see, screen, share. All right, so once you're in Google Analytics, if you write for more than one site, make sure that you switch that out to the site that you are wanting it to be. So I have two, but it's already selected mine, Hope, Joy in Christ. All right, then we are going to go to acquisition. All traffic. Oh, look, did I lie? Oh, no, I didn't. Channels. And wait for it to load. Loading, loading, All right, now down here we have social channels, organic channels, direct channels, and referral channels. And I'm hoping this will change soon. It's already changed significantly because my social channels were about 95%, and now they're 79%. Look at that, organic's almost 10%. Woohoo! Do you ever stop and just celebrate the cool things, the exciting progress? If you don't, you are missing out because, you know, there's always something else to do, always something else to learn. But when you get something and it starts to increase, you need to just like do a little dance, party, be excited. All right, so we're going to go to organic search. Then over here in the secondary dimension, we are going to click behavior. We want to find the behavior that led to our site, right? And then we have a green little thing and it says destination page. And what this is telling Google Analytics is we want to know organic search, so that search through Google, through Bing, through wherever, whatever search places people have, that organically they searched this and the destination page was somewhere on our site, okay? And it's going to pull up the top 10, all right? Now, oh, did I not give myself a good date range? I'm sorry. So let's look at the last month. No, it's sorry. Oh, it's okay. It still will give us a good picture. All right, so in this, I want you to look at your top 10. You may look at your top 25. This just bar down here just means that took them to my home page, which happens. That's going to be in here. We're not going to worry about that. Let's look at the top 10. And I want you to think about these posts. Are these your best? Are they ones that you had hoped would have done better? Is there something you were hoping was in here? Maybe an affiliate piece, a piece that you wrote to drive affiliate sales, or a product of your own that you wished, you know, was higher up in organic search. Okay, if that's not here and you want to try that one, go for it. Otherwise, we're going to pick one of these posts and we're going to optimize that. I am going to ask you in the Facebook group for your top 3, and let's go ahead and all try to be good about helping each other. So the top, we're not going to do anything with it particularly. I just want to know that you follow the steps. So I want to know what your top 3 organic search posts are, okay? And any unique like aha moments, okay? For example, one that cracks me up repeatedly in my top 10, they're not all mine. So I love to have guest posts come in, and so this one is not mine. This is Amy Imview, and I'm so sorry, sweet friend, if I say your name wrong. But this is hers, and it ranks me for a keyword that I don't actually write for, but she did such a great job with this that it brings lots of traffic. Same with this one. This one was also a guest post. So just looking through this, and we're going to go through all of these. I'm going to encourage you, not just for this challenge, not just for the one, because we're going to pick one and we're going to work this sucker all the way through, okay? For 6 or 7 days, we're going to be updating it. We're going to be fixing things in it. We're going to be adding keywords, adding long tail keywords, adding related keywords, answering questions that Google says, you know, people also search for, so that it helps reduce our bounce rate, okay? Because your bounce rate is very important in the SEO world. And so if you look over here and see that this one has 100% bounce rate, it means that what they thought the post was going to be, it wasn't. And so they clicked onto it, quickly realized it wasn't, for them, and they clicked back to go somewhere else, which hopefully will be changing because this is one I just updated. But we want that bounce rate lower, much lower, okay? So when you come down here, this bounce rate is kind of where I've gotten things lower. But we don't want a 100% bounce rate. We don't want a 93 or a 94% bounce rate. So these are all things we're going to be fixing and working on. So today your challenge is pick the post that we're going to optimize. I want you to share a couple of them in the group. I'll pull up a thread for that so that we know everybody's like on the same page, and just check this piece out, and we will get to the next step tomorrow. So listen, until then, you all have a blessed day.